Oh, I was supposed to get rid of this thing. Hold on. There we go. What's up, people? How are you all doing? Welcome to the Joe McFo Show live stream. Today is live stream number 5, I believe it is. So yeah, we're doing all right. We've been pretty consistent. Today was a little weird because I forgot I had to do something for Art Prof that I signed on to do a month ago, and it's before I started the live streams. So that's why we had to push things back for an hour. But we're gonna get right back into drawing today. So real quick, I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing beforehand. I was doing some exercises to warm up because, in all honesty, I haven't drawn today. I've been doing other stuff, and I like to do exercises like this to help me loosen up. So I'll just do like a page of me practicing how to do horizontal lines. Like I'll draw 2 dots like this and do my best to connect them in one pencil stroke. You can do the same thing vertically. You could draw cubes like this, and the goal is to just get really confident with placing your lines, right? That's really what drawing is just learning how to place lines and move your hand in the best way possible. So yeah, that's what I like to do beforehand because I didn't want to embarrass myself on this live stream. You know what I mean? But you did not all come here to see me draw weird shapes like that. Y'all came to see me do some other cool art, and I decided we are going to continue on what was last week's stream, and I'm going to finish up or do the best I can to finish up this right here, which is a drawing for shadow boxers with father and son, Asim on the left and Javen on the right. And I'm gonna fix up a couple things and hopefully get to color and shadow and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get it going. Ginger Cell says smooth intro. Yeah, I know I'm the smoothest. Just, I mean, it's hard to be as fresh and as cool as I am sometimes. So, I'm glad you really appreciate that. Odie says, let's go. What's up, man? Thanks for coming on. Ginger Cell says, that's lots of squares and circles. Oh, you should see the stuff I've turned in before, like for class and stuff. Erica says, hello, Erica. How are you doing? You did a lot of stuff for Art Prof today. I know I've been real booked solid for Art Prof. I have a disability case open, so I'm not able to do anything to generate income until it's closed. Oh, I guess that was from a previous comment. Hope everything works out. I do too. Amanda says, let's go. Scorch Rest says, yay, hi. Internet working, yay. Yeah, don't say too much about that. We're gonna see how well this goes. And so let's see. I haven't really taken a look at this in a week. So the first thing I do whenever I start looking at a piece that I already worked on, I will try to notice any mistakes that I made and that I didn't catch the first go around. So as I'm looking at this, I don't like this arm right now. It feels like the foreshortening isn't as far off as I want it to be. So I'm gonna have to find a way to fix that. I'm also not a big fan of this right here. I think that I can make the shape language a little bit smoother, or not smoother, but just a little bit more prominent with Javen's arm here. I think this arm might be too small. I think the arms in general are just a little small, and maybe even this foot. I might have to pull this back slightly. And then I'm gonna have to find out what I'm gonna do with Javen's leg here, because there's actually this cloth right here. I'm gonna find out if it's kind of wrapped around it, so it's behind, you can't see it, or if he's affecting this cloth. So I have to figure that out. Could we turn the music down just slightly? Yeah, let me turn down the music. Okay, that should be better. So Ginger Cell, let me know if that works for you. If you can't hear it, I'll have to turn it back up. But we're testing everything out. We don't know how all this stuff is going to work. We're here showing support. Thank you so much, Erica. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Oh, that's us talking about how broke we are. Oh yeah. A lot of artists, unfortunately, are kind of broke. that's just how it is sometimes. Okay, so let me actually work on a seam then, and what is this? There's something on this layer. So put him into a group, and I'll make those adjustments that I was talking about earlier. Let's get rid of him, minimize this, and okay, gotta see where these lines are heading. So I think this is going to be interesting. So let me actually get rid of these lines just so I don't have to worry anymore about what's happening. And this here, I'm trying to just capture that foreshortening in this arm and not really think about it so much. So maybe something like it's hard because it's all like covered, you know, like I don't I'm not sure how to go about this because I also don't have reference on me. Unfortunately, I always advocate for reference, but I don't have one right now, unless we count one of these, or maybe this one on the far right can work. But it's a little challenging because it's at a completely different angle. So we're gonna have to play around with some stuff. We gonna see, y'all. We gonna see. Maybe tilt this down. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of the anatomy underneath, and yeah, let's see here. This is honestly what most of art is, guys. It's fixing mistakes. Some people think that you can just draw things perfectly on the first go, and that is almost universally never the case whatsoever. It's trial and error a lot, and especially for newer artists, that's just always something that is going to be an issue. But that's okay. That's what erasers are for. And because this is a fun piece for me, that hopefully you all enjoy, I'm going to try not to stress myself out too much. I think when people stress themselves out over their work, that's when you end up getting the worst work possible. Ginger Cell says much better. Okay, cool. Amazing how much we notice after not looking at our work for a while. Yeah, tell me about it. Love the chill music as the background. Please share at the end what it is. Actually, it's a it's from StreamYard. they just recently had this feature where they had a feature where you can play music that's copyright free, and you can just use it on YouTube. It just loops. So I think there's only like 2 or 3 of the 7 stations they gave me that I actually can tolerate for the length of the stream. You know, I don't know how long the tracks are necessarily, but yeah. So we're just gonna keep it like that. But I do recommend Chill Hop. Chill Hop on YouTube has some really cool music on there, and that's copyright free, but you have to sign up for their program, which is free. But you can use it in your videos if you wanted to, as long as you credit them. And that's what I did, I believe, in my first live stream. I was using their music, but this is so much easier to set up. I just click a button and that's all I got to worry about. Ginger Cell says going to work on the September art day while watching this. Ooh, awesome. Crispy Paintbrush says hello to you. How are you doing today? This is so cool having you guys all back. I love how supportive you all are, and I super appreciate it. Okay, the doc just showed up again. This doc kind of annoys me on the bottom. I can't really get rid of it. I've tried to put it on my second screen, and it's just like, haha, nope. Okay, so getting this fist here. So what the image is of, if you guys couldn't already tell, it's Asim giving his son a niggy, and it's just one of those fun kind of dad playful things. And so I thought it was fun to do, and I haven't drawn too many images of my characters really interacting. And I was talking to Kathy, who's on the stream right now, and she recommended, we were talking about it, and this was one of the recommendations. And I was like, you know what, this would actually be perfect to have the father-son moment be like the first thing that you know, people really see, because that's really at heart what the story is about that I'm building. So yeah, it's a father-son story. And also I think it's good to see, you know, positive images of fatherhood and sonhood, I guess. and in media, especially when it comes to Black characters. You're seeing it a lot more now recently, but for a long time that wasn't such a popular thing. And so I hopefully am able to add to the conversation by having something like this, especially animated characters. So yeah, some of what I'm doing right now is guesswork, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of it is actually just me trying to figure out how best to communicate these forms and everything. Because again, I don't have a reference in front of me. So I kind of just got to use to the best of my ability, the knowledge of anatomy that I have and everything. Sometimes it's a little off, but we ain't giving up. And one reason I also like doing these streams is because it helps keep me accountable. I get so busy all the time, and like clearly I forgot my own schedule today. Otherwise I would have started the stream on time like I initially thought I was going to. But by setting up these live streams, it makes me go like, yeah, let's work on shadow boxers, because I have so many things I want to do for it, but I don't always end up getting to it for one reason or another. And so by having this commitment to put on a live stream for you all, hopefully inspire somebody or at least cure someone of their boredom for a couple hours, I think it's a great tool for me, and hopefully it's good for you too, because I want to be able to help y'all. So let's fix this here, sleeve. No, that's not looking good. Sometimes just zooming out and playing with shapes is the only solution to this, because I really don't. Is there an example? I guess that. Let's see. Look at that image on the bottom right of how those wrinkles are on the clothing. That's going to be my indicator of how well things are going. Okay. And then what I'm trying to figure out is just like, I have this little extra bit on his sleeve, so I'm just trying to make sure I communicate that properly. That's really all I'm working on for right here. Sometimes it's a little weird because I don't want to create an awkward tangent. Okay, I think that looks all right. Let's see what we got here. Thanks for streaming tonight. I loved last week's stream. Oh, good. I'm so glad that despite all of my tech issues and my stream shutting off on me like 2 or 3 times, you still loved it. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Let's see. Just chilling, drinking some iced coffee on Sunday afternoon. Nice. Although I don't drink coffee, but that does sound like chill vibes. I feel like I already want to see the whole show. Good. Keep that energy, because I'm going to be making some cool stuff and I'm going to need some crowd support. I'll just say that. And you guys are talking about coffee and matcha. I'm just gonna, no offense, I'm just gonna ignore that. I don't drink any of that stuff. All right, let's see here. So as we're going, make sure I fix all this stuff. Okay. So what I did here is I draw on 2 separate layers for this character. And it helps me because if I merge the layer and I mess something up and I want to change it again, then that can really add to my stress. So I think it's always good to have multiple layers. And then when you're ready and it's done, then you can merge it together and have a much better chance of producing something that won't drive you crazy. But what I did here is I created a mask. So originally the drawing looked like this, but then when you put the mask on, basically it keeps all the lines there, but you're kind of just covering it up, like sort of not quite as strong as like whiteout would be, but you're just kind of like putting your hand up like, no, you don't need to see this right now. So I can always refer back to it. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, come on, going to bring back some of those lines that were there. Oh, I guess I didn't bring that up enough. So not even erasing these lines, I'm just kind of bringing them back. And there's a massive tangent right here, but I think Javen covers that up. Yeah, so you see Javen's helping me out. He's gonna cover up that tangent right there with the finger and the cloth, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Then let's get this line attaching here. You know, another trick, by the way, for those of you guys who struggle with line art, it's almost kind of silly, but sometimes if you draw your line art in a different color other than black, you actually draw better, because I think when we think about how to draw lines, black feels so permanent. But when you draw with the dark blue or like a brown or something like that, psychologically, it helps me to kind of not take things as harshly or as seriously in a sense. So yeah, free tip for y'all. Okay, then I gotta study this, double check. This cloth that's gonna go, I guess it's gonna go something like this, actually. Just gonna wrap around, create a little fold here. And one thing I did forget is the pattern on the bottom of this cloak here. So because, here, let me actually get rid of this. And then I'm gonna show you guys that trick I was telling you about last time, putting your images right next to each other. So you go to Arrange, New Window for the file. And then you go to Window, Two up vertical. And I basically have two of the same image. And because my reference is right here, I'm just gonna zoom in on that, so I don't have to constantly keep going back and forth. You can also change the size of it this way, because I really only need to see this, you know? So I find that very, very helpful. Let's see, Crispy says, I know even just a good quality matcha powder and ice cream ginger. Oh my gosh, wow, y'all still talk about that? I need to start doing the art there last minute. Yeah, procrastination is a struggle for us all. Oh my gosh, y'all really love ice cream and matcha and coffee and all that stuff. October art there. Trick for line art, just never do it. I need to clean up on my social medias. Well, that is a trick for line art, but then again, you know, is that really what you want to do? Just never do line art? I would find that rather sad. Especially since I spent so much time trying to master it, you know. I wouldn't call myself a master by any means, but I'm much stronger now than I was a couple of years ago. And I'm actually very proud of how far I've come. Anyway, okay, let's get these details in the cloak. So I think that'll take care of it. And it's also, see how I'm moving past the line? I did that because, especially when I draw on a separate layer, all I have to do is just, I don't have to worry about how quickly I draw it. I just need to erase those lines later on. It really helps me. So next up, we'll do this, this here. And if I run into an issue, I can always warp it later. Like so, transform warp tool, bring it down like that. Get rid of the lines that are not necessary. Double check this. There's another tangent right here. I think, what can I do? Let me actually back this up a bit. I really try hard to not have little tangents in my work, especially because that right there would actually screw up the depth. So let's just bring that down a little bit lower. No one's going to measure my turnaround and be like, it's supposed to be 4 centimeters lower, you fool. You know, no one's doing that. And if you are, I'm blocking you from my page. All right. Oh, that created another tangent. All right, I'm just going to cheat now. I'm just going to move that down. All right. So that's good to go. Let's see. I do too, but unless I make a bunch of new content like videos for TikTok, photography, my art, etc., I'm going to have like 6 posts. Oh, posting on social media. I struggle with that a lot, actually. Claire has to get on my back on that. To be honest, I just don't I just don't things never doing line art, so I just never do it because I don't need to. Oh, if you're never in a situation where you're required to do line art, then that makes sense. I'm struggling with making my line art disappear to make the image look more realistic. Any tips for this? Making my line art disappear. Oh, okay, I see. I I personally like line. I actually think it's a better indicator of how strong a draftsman is because people tend to hide their flaws with just doing value. I'll give you an example. One time I was in class, I was in a clothed figure drawing class, and I forget what the assignment was, but this one woman did a lot of tone on it. And from across the classroom, it looked amazing. It was one of the most standout pieces on there. And we were all like, wow, I can't wait to, critique this and like get into it. And I got closer and I noticed all these weird issues with anatomy. Like there was just a lot of strange stuff happening and it was all covered up by value. So I actually think that when it comes to drawing and building skill in that sense, it's better to learn how to do lines strongly. Now, to answer your question about how to get better at it, really, I would just make sure you draw lightly. If you want to, paint over it or something like that, draw very lightly so you understand where the forms are and the planes and stuff like that, and a placement of all the features. And then slowly you would just kind of treat it like a painting and just kind of paint over those elements. But good for you mastering line art, Jordan. You look like a master to me, at least. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best, right? I do not like TikTok. I feel like Instagram is easier. I guess it really depends. TikTok is just, the algorithms on both are just so infuriating to me sometimes, but it is what it is. Of your SB characters so far, who's the hardest to draw? Oh, good question. Okay, so let's go to my character list. I know who I'm going to say, but I know some of you either want to see my characters again or have not seen them at all. So let me pull up my page for this. So this is my character design sheet for Shadowboxers. We got Mashaka, Aletha, Ishnu, Javen, Atana, Kayla, Ghazali, and Asim. Out of all these characters, I think the most difficult by far is Aletha. Aletha is challenging because she has so much going on. I actually think I want to simplify her design just slightly, not to change the essence of who she is or anything, but like little stuff like this, on her arm, like that little horizontal thing. I don't think I need that, or this extra line and underneath the breast here. Like those things are just a lot of details that are just challenging to draw after a while. So yeah, I think she's really difficult. After that, Ishnu is actually not as difficult as I thought he would be. He's actually pretty quick. Atana's challenging only because of her cloak, because it's kind of, sometimes I don't know whether or not I should have the cloak kind of billowing out or if it should kind of stay form-fitting. And so I might have to make up some sort of animation drawing rule for her with that. All the other characters are pretty standard. I try not to have too much detail on my characters, but Aletha, I just went hard on Aletha when I was doing her. Let's see. Dang, I have a heavy hand. Can I train myself to work lighter? Yes, you can. Having a heavy hand is very common for a lot of artists, but one motivation, if nothing else, for developing a lighter touch to your drawing is to not want to be injured, right? I think that's it's actually a lot more common than a lot of people realize. And there are people that I went to school with who permanently injured their wrist or their hand, both in undergrad and in grad school. That has happened. So one way that I recommend addressing that is, one, treat drawing with very little pressure, right? You should use about the same amount of pressure to pet a gerbil as you would your drawing. And that way it'll protect your wrist from swelling up or getting aches or, developing arthritis later on. Things like that are super helpful. I also recommend, actually, hold on a second, pull this book. I have to pull my headphones out. Hold up. So there's a book here called Draw Stronger for Visual Artists. Let me click on. Let me do this. Yeah, Draw Stronger: Self-Care for Cartoonists and Visual Artists by Creota Wilberg. And the whole book is basically a diagram of how you can do certain stretches for your wrist, you know, how to strengthen your hands and things like that. Really easy to find on Amazon. It's like $10. So for those of you who want to take a screenshot, there you go. That is it. And so, yeah, so using those techniques and exercises are going to help you, because as an artist, you want to be down for the long haul. You want that longevity, right? I'm sure you don't want your career to end right before you get your big break. And so, yeah, that's why I recommend stretching. Obviously, exercise I think is really important. Like any type of strength training or grip training, because it will strengthen your muscles and you won't feel it so much when you actually do have an issue. Yeah. Okay. As I'm looking at this, I see another issue. I am seeing that this line here is supposed to be the same as this line, but they're actually kind of off. So I think what I need to do, I need to pull this line here closer to that. And I think that would actually make it work better. So again, these are where the problems are going to be resolved. I didn't think that this was going to be a perfect drawing. And now that I've taken some time off, I can actually see these issues come up. So let's fix this here. Am I on the wrong layer? I was on the wrong layer. Let's rotate that a bit. I'm gonna have to redraw some of these lines, but it's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna actually redraw the whole thing. Goodness gracious, come on. I didn't even delete it, right? Sometimes technology does not make things easier as was advertised to me. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, you think things are just gonna naturally work, and then tricks are played on you. Okay, I think that was too far. I think here's about where I want it. And going back to that other question, about which character is hardest to draw, it depends sometimes on the angle. Sometimes there's certain angles that when I was designing the character, I didn't think about. I never thought what I would do if a scene was raising his arm when I designed him. He looks cool as is, but now I'm just like, oh yeah, I would have to consider this, huh? So, but I'm still very happy with the design. I wouldn't want to change it. So fun fact, guys, some of you guys may remember that a couple of weeks ago, there was a heat wave, and I'm pretty sure we're about to have another mini one in the next couple of days. And the reason I say that is because I'm starting to sweat as I draw this, and that only happens when it's like 85 plus degrees in this house. So yeah, it is not fun right now, but it's okay. I'm still gonna draw for y'all, don't you worry. Have you thought about background characters yet, like Cabbage Man and Avatar? No, I have not. I have not yet. The thing about that, those background characters, sometimes they're not even creations of the creator themselves. It's like sometimes just something that the animators want to do. Like there's a very famous scene in Avatar of the the foaming mouth guy from the Warriors of Kyoshi episode 4, and in the script, apparently it said that the guy faints, but then Ryu Kion, who's the animator on that scene, he decided to take it to a whole nother level, and he just animated the guy fainting without even saying anything, sent it back to him. They thought it was hilarious, and they kept it in there. And so sometimes I think those ideas are just going to come naturally. Like I might walk down Venice Beach or something like that and see a guy that will just inspire me to put him in my project. There's a lot of characters at Venice Beach. Let me tell you, if you've never been, there are some interesting guys. Like I was in high school one time, and I was walking with my 4 friends, or No, there were four of us. It was my three friends. And there was this homeless guy pushing a cart, or riding in a cart rather. And he looked at us from about 20 feet away as we were walking. And he said, "Hey guys, this is my impression of an airplane." And he just kept rolling on by. And we're like, okay, that just happened apparently. We were like 14 or 15 at the time. You know, I would want to do something like that, take something from my own experience. I think that would just be hilarious. Let's see. Okay, so this one's going to be much easier to manage because I already have those lines drawn out. Yeah, go. Let's go back here. One thing that's really important also, guys, is symmetry. You really want to get the symmetry down on this. I just noticed I made another mistake. This is why having your reference is really important, because, and anytime I show a mistake that I recognize, guys, I want to tell you all so you know I'm not like this perfect being. But one thing I just noticed in my character design sketch, this line actually, let me pick another color. This line actually connects right to the center, but I accidentally put it here, so it doesn't even reach. So I have to watch out for stuff like that, and be very careful. That's why it's really important you have your reference up, because even though I created this character, I literally sat at my desk for hours at this very Cintiq on my 26th birthday and drew him, and I still don't remember exactly what he looks like. So, and he's only got like one outfit, really. Isn't that a shame? Let's get this working over here. Yeah. Okay. Now some of this is not even going to really appear because his hand's going to be blocking it. So I'm not going to be too worried about this. Like, this split is actually much thicker in the character design reference than what I'm drawing here, but you know, it's fine. It's going to be covered up. As long as I get the line. As long as the line is strong enough where I can color it in easily, then it'll be fine. I love it. Pedidurable. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear there's a book for it. Thank you for sharing. You are very welcome. I only have one piece of watercolor paper left. No. Oh, that's always the worst. That's like such a big deception because watercolor paper is really thick too. My vacuum blew up a few days ago. LOL technology. Oh my gosh. That's tragic. Sorry about that. We getting a cold front. Yay, finally. Oh man, I wish I could say the same. It's been hot here too, but my roommate keeps it like a fridge in here, so I'm freezing. I will trade. I will put on some jackets and socks, you know. There's some unique ones in Cali. Let's see. You were in high school one time. Me too. Yeah, I was in high school at one point. What are you teaching, Jordan, at the college? I am teaching a class on, basically it's digital figure drawing. And so it's online, totally online. And we go through how to draw the head, the arms, legs, how to draw characters. So anything doing with the figure is what we are covering. And I really enjoy teaching. It's my first time being an official college professor. I took the class myself about 3 years ago in the summer, and I never thought I would actually be teaching it. So the fact that I have this opportunity is really, really cool, and I'm excited. All right, so let's get these little here. So just so you know, guys, I'm probably only going to be able to finish this one. I thought about starting a new image today, but I was like, you know what, considering we're starting a little bit later, I know that some of you guys are on the East Coast and y'all got work in the morning. I got class in the morning at 8:30, so I got to make sure I get a good night's sleep too. I'm probably just going to work on this image, and once it's all colored and all that stuff, then we'll probably end it. But how long that will take, I have no idea. We will see. It seems it's taking a little longer, right? Half an hour into the stream. I'm still working on him. I still got Javen to do. So yeah, but this is supposed to be a chill stream. I'm not really gonna worry about too much. This is to have fun. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Oh, something else I just thought of since I did it right now. One way to get strong line work or strong line quality is drawing really long strokes. Like a lot of people will do like really small lines like this, but if you can actually, especially working on a big screen, if you can just go like across like that and draw with your whole arm, including your shoulder, that really helps. I don't think we have as much control when we just draw with our wrist. So that's why a lot of artists advise against it. This is not the right angle. This needs to be a little bit more exaggerated. Just like that. Yeah, and I can also pull these a little bit more. Yes, there we go. There we go. Ironic, because I just realized this is probably gonna be covered up anyway, but whatever. It's all good. All right. Let's copy this. I don't feel like drawing the same thing twice. I'm gonna switch that here, and it's a little bit bigger. And then I'm just going to pull these out a little bit more. Make sure they're even on both sides as much as possible, so that's not gonna work. All right, so let me just finish drawing this one, then I'll warp it later. That's good. So let's transform this right here. That feels better. And the other line actually doesn't feel too bad, but I think I do want to straighten that line out. Let me grab my ruler. So I legit have a ruler here that I use sometimes to draw straight lines, because I don't want to use the line tool. I want to actually draw it. Because the line tool, the only thing about using it is that it looks mechanical, especially on a brush that's so textured like this. So it's always nice to get that actual feeling of a straight line. Ooh, that line didn't look good. We'll erase that. Okay, this is good enough for now. Okay, let's merge this. That's a nice outfit, though. I'm glad you think so. What do you like the most about teaching? What made you want to teach? You know what's funny? I didn't actually think I would ever become a teacher. I sort of taught myself how to teach by when I used to do Bible studies in college, and I had no real frame of reference for how to do it. I just kind of learned through trial and error, and then I found out that I really enjoy helping people, and I like explaining things. I like seeing people improve and let that light bulb moment for students when it goes off for them, and so. Yeah, and then I just, started learning through that. And then around the same time, Art Prof came up, and as I was doing the original live streams on Instagram, there were lots of questions that I was getting about my process and drawing the figure and stuff. And so I just learned over time how to best articulate certain things, and I just became a teacher kind of organically. It was never in the plan. I never pictured myself doing this, but the more that I do it, the more I enjoy it. And preserve. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see. Okay, the one downside to having a bunch of layers, I don't know where to find anything sometimes. And, okay, I also think I need to change up this real quick. I don't think the design actually reflects that. It's more straight on like this. Yeah. Let's see. I've been thinking recently that I might want to teach. By the way, I can't teach yet. I'm just thinking for the future. If you have a passion for it, I think that's amazing, and we definitely need more quality teachers in the world. You're always going to be able to impact somebody in a positive way. And sometimes a student might need a kick in the pants, and you'll be there for that too. That's something that I've had to do on a couple of occasions throughout the years. It's just like kind of set them straight. I never mean, I don't like being intentionally mean or anything, but I do know how to be honest about that stuff. And so, and my goal is also to just never discourage people. That's, I know that artists in particular are so fragile, and it can be a very difficult thing for them to overcome certain aspects of criticism or whatever it is. So yeah, my goal is to never discourage anybody. I needed to make this foot just a little smaller. Let's just adjust that. Just a touch. There we go. That was all it needed. He just needed a foot trim, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't mean anything on the other side of the internet that I don't know about. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, so let me just go back and fix up this layer mask because I'm gonna need that. And then go here and just clean up some of these. I could probably push this tricep out a little bit more. That might be a little too exaggerated for the style. Let's see. There is a teacher shortage. They literally threw a teaching job at me. I just said hello and they said you're hired. Oh, wow, that's insane. Is that specific to your area? Or is that just nationwide? I'm curious. And please don't tell me exactly what city you're from, because I want to protect your privacy, but just get curious. Let's see. I'm actually learning a lot about talking about art too, because I'm actually having to articulate my actions to others. Yeah, it's actually really good for me, even when I'm doing these streams, because it helps me think about why I do the things that I do. And especially if I make a mistake on something, I think it's helpful for you guys to be like, oh, I get it. So yeah, those are excellent teaching moments right there. So many little things I have to fix up. See, this is what checkers are for. Usually in like animation studios, they'll have a storyboard checker or something, and they'll just like make sure everything is all squared away. Super important stuff, because last thing you want to do is like just spend all your time fixing up the same 4 things on the character. It just takes up a lot of time. All right, I think he's done now. I think we can call the scene finished. For the most part, I still have to add his necklace, but I'll do that later on. I think it's more important to make sure we get Javen in here. So what did I say for Javen? I said his arm and that. Okay, so let's address that. Let's first find out that's his hand. This is his entire line. This is the sketch. Okay. Make a new layer real quick. And let me pull up the reference here. So one thing that's always been a challenge for me whenever I draw this character is how many kind of whatchamacallit, how many grooves on his jacket sleeve there need to be. Like I don't want to do too much, but I also don't want it to look like his sleeves only come to here. They need to look like they're actually bunched up. So yeah. Let's see. And I also want it to be interesting shape language too. It actually doesn't look too bad, just making it a little simpler. Yeah, you can do it like that. So in this situation, I actually might just get rid of some of these. Just close all that out. Erase the lines that I don't need here. Let's put this in black. Okay, not quite, but it's closer. I think this line's a little... trying to create a cool shape here. Okay, this would probably be the blue, light blue, cyan here. And I think his arm even will probably, for his elbow, actually be a little bit thicker, just in general. Yeah, I think that's definitely the move to make. So let's push his elbow a little bit. Yeah, that was a good move. All right, so now let's make this lower opacity and let's make it work. All right. Yeah, I think that looks all right. I think it looks okay. I might need to bring some of it onto this side, actually. Yeah, there we go. That feels better. It just felt like his arm was too thin, you know? That's what I was really trying to resolve. And I think that helped it. Let's see. Like Crawford kicked you in the pants for your Insta, man. How harsh was she? LOL, I feel for you. You know what? I always get kicked in the butt, or in the pants, to use your terms, by everybody. It's just, and sometimes just life does that to me too. But you know, I wouldn't be who I am today without those kicks. So while I don't like them all the time, I also know that some of them are necessary. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? You feel me. I am dying in my painting 2 class. I see some of my classmates struggling and I want to help them. I just feel like it is my place. So I'm staying silent, but maybe realize I want to teach. Oh, that's interesting. I really think they would actually probably appreciate some help, but I wouldn't approach it that way. I would be like, hey, what are you working on? You know, and then if they say they're struggling, then that's, you know, that's almost like an invitation. Like, hey, do you have advice? Because you never want to just butt in and give people unsolicited feedback. But, you know, I actually think they would probably appreciate if they knew that was something that you offered. Or you can just say, hey, if anyone ever needs my help, you know, just let me know. Or just saying you have a really cool idea about something. Okay, let me make this arm a little thicker. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to look a little bit cleaner now. I'm liking it. I'm feeling it. Oh, I was way behind. Yeah, there was a national teacher shortage. Wow, that's crazy. They're desperate for teachers. I did not know that. You said pants first, not me. Let's see. At Jordan broke the quiet game challenge because family said I was scaring them because I haven't said a thing since Thursday. Like, sometimes I have nothing to say and talk and not talk got me in trouble just now. Wow, I don't think I've ever stayed silent for that long. That's actually really wild that you're able to do that. Okay, I think this hand is actually pretty good. I'm gonna leave it in blue right now in case I do need to change it, because I have Asim kind of wrapping his arm around under his neck like that, and I just need to make sure that everything makes sense. So I'm not going to merge it just yet. But what I will do, I will draw this second hand, also in a different layer. I wonder, you know what? Can I cheat? Maybe I can cheat. I don't know if this is going to work, but oh shoot. If y'all don't tell, don't tell people I did this, but I think this is actually gonna work. I'll change it up slightly because gotta make some adjustments here. All right, so let's actually get rid of this. Sometimes we need that kick in the pants. Yeah. Squishy says, I had a class where the students were teaching each other and the teacher. It wasn't a great school, so it was really disappointing overall, but I appreciated the help from other students. Okay, if the students are teaching the teacher, I don't see a problem with that. I see a problem when they start like overtaking the class, because there's things you can learn from students all the time, and I don't think that there's a problem with that. But when they start like taking charge of the class, that's where I'm drawing the line. I'm calling it there. I'm calling foul play. Let's see. I do that too. I won't tell either. Good cheat. I can't tell what happened. You guys are the best. You guys are awesome. This is why I love y'all. Okay, let's fix up some of these little things here. We're getting really close to finishing Javen, actually, like immensely close. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's, let me just see. I might have to pull this hand down a bit. And okay, I think I have to actually change this hand in perspective a little bit. I think I got to warp it. So I have to warp it and redraw that angle slightly. Because it looked like it was like the other hand is more straight on. This one kind of needs to be more at an angle. So let's put that here. Let's change up these fists. And also let's do, so okay, so he's grabbing his dad's fist like this. So trying to pull him off. So this is actually, glad I checked this. Okay, there we go. For that, just a wee bit closer. Just a little bit closer. Hand in. So really, I guess I need to redraw the hand anyway, but I think that's looking okay, right? I feel like he's kind of pulling on his dad's arm. You guys see that? I think it's working. Okay, so, and then this. What am I gonna do with that? I guess, I think I'll just have it so that, his leg is behind the cloth, you know. I think that'd just be the easiest solution. I think I should make his foot like 2% bigger though. So let's fix that. We don't want him to look like he's got one that's a size 12 and one that's a size 6. You know, that's I mean, there is perspective involved, but we don't want to have that drastic of a change. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's starting to be a real fun image. All right, let's finish. Oh, let's see. I think what I'm gonna do. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do real quick. Need to double check everything. I actually think I want to redraw the lines in his hair a little bit too. I'm not happy with how I drew the back of it. Let's get that nice outline shape. Ordinarily, I would actually do something a little bit different. I would select just the outside of the lines and just do it that way. But because these are all in different layers, it's not going to work. So unfortunately, I just have to do this manually. All right, so that's cleared up. Let's get rid of these. And then what I'm going to do next, I'm actually going to copy these layers and put them all into one so that it's going to be easier to color. Now, if I have to change some of the line work, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'll have to redo everything. But if I play my cards right, I might be able to make the process pretty seamless if I use masks and stuff. Let's change my brush. Forgot that this brush was kind of textured, so it might not actually get everything I want. Let's see. They were overtaking the class. The teacher kicked back and was learning. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Yeah, that's a problem. That's an issue. Oh man, squishy, that doesn't sound good. That's a really funny sentence, just saying like Squishy as the name. I love the name Squishy ever since Finding Nemo. It wasn't, I don't think the school was even the existence at the time. This was back in the 90s computer animation class. Gee whiz. When I teach, I kind of feel like Harry Potter when he and the gang create Dumbledore's army. I'm like, okay, so let's wing it. Zetherix, Jordan, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining the live stream. You sound like a great teacher, Amanda. Let's see. That ain't a natural foot size. It is now. This post seems like it's a hard one, to draw. It's a little tricky. I had to mix up a couple of things. Basically what I did was I looked at my references here and here, and then I kind of imagined what this stance would be like and the emotion behind it. Like if anyone's ever, so the difference between this and what I like, why I kind of changed it from these. This one I like because you can actually see the kid's face, right? This one I like because whenever someone's giving you a noogie like that, you're trying to get away because it's not comfortable. So I had to mix these poses together to create this where you could tell that, he's not in pain or anything, but he's still trying to get away, like, because he's, being messed with. So yeah, that was the tricky part of the pose. I actually did redraw Javen's entire pose. Asim, I pretty much knew what he was going to be doing the whole time, but Javen, I had to switch up. I think I might still have that sketch layer. If I do, I'll show you after I finish this. So after this, the next stage is combining the line art, and then after that, I can either move to color or shadows first. It actually really doesn't matter what you do first, as long as it's consistent in the end. So maybe I'll do a poll. Maybe I'll just ask you guys, what would you prefer me to do first? So you can see the technique of how I use shadow and the technique of how I use color. Actually, it'd be better if you just said that now so I knew what to do. Let me know if you guys want to see me work on shadows first or color. All right, so that's Good to go. All right, he's ready. Now I just got to change up some of these lines for the hair. And then we will be on a roll. So I just don't like how these shapes are all bunched up together in the same size. I want to change it up a little bit. So I want to try and do small, medium, and then large like that. So let's actually do this. And I also want to make them a little pointier, a little bit more triangular, because they are cut off. You know, they are kind of rectangular in a sense, but triangles are more dynamic, especially for this character. I intentionally designed him with lots of triangle shapes. And if you guys don't see that, I will show you too. Okay, as I'm looking in the comments, let's see. Oh, barely surviving, but not bad. How are you? Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I know you're dealing with some stuff. I'm doing good. I've been having a pretty good day today. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Color. My vote is for shadow, so not helpful. Hello, I'm back again. Shadows. Oh man. Okay, we're 2-2. All right, we need a tiebreaker. So the next answer I see is what I'll work on first. Color or shadow for the next major portion. Let me know. Whoever comments first. First come, first serve. It's like that last slice of pizza in the cafeteria at lunchtime in the 5th grade. And there are no more boxes left. Oh, it's a draw. Color. All right, so color wins. All right, so I'll go through that. And then I'll talk about how I do shadows. So, all right, let me just make sure all my lines are correct. Okay, let's actually block off some of this here. He's got a design on his sleeve. Don't want to forget about that. And then it's going to kind of wrap around and probably be lost, actually. And that one you wouldn't really see. Although I should probably do this. So it wraps around. All right. It's blue here. I picked blue for him for obvious reasons, because at least for this like color block, because he's mostly wearing blue. He's known as the blue one in my lineup. Okay, these are still not pointy enough on his hair. Hold on, let's revise this just a little bit. Ugh, too big. There we go. That's much better. That is much better. See how much a little change like that can make a difference? Some of you may not even realize it, but that's okay. I'm okay with slight ambiguity if it's necessary. All right. Anything else I want to change about this? So once I say I'm done with it, I'm done with it. You know, so I want to really make sure that we're all squared away. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, I think that is about it. So let's now take these two groups. I'm gonna duplicate them. So we have the OG layers. I'm just gonna lock them. I always lock my original layers because you never know what can happen. Wait, can I vote color again? I get 2 votes. Oh wait, you voted already? Oh shoot. Whatever. I already said I'm gonna do color. It's fine. It's actually, I'm gonna show you guys a pretty cool trick actually. I just got this new plugin that does color for you. Crispy Paintbrush says, do I like plants? I appreciate plants very much. I don't know much about them. I don't have a green thumb. I've never planted a garden or anything like that, or planted anything for that matter. But I do appreciate what they provide. I think they're very helpful. All right, so I am going to merge this line layer right here for a seam. So we just all in one right there. And then this color block, I can keep that. Javen's got a little bit more to him. Let's see, I don't need these layers right now. This, that line, that's his hand, that's his other hand. This is just an empty layer, I guess. I just made a layer for no reason, apparently. Go away. Go away. All right. Merge everything here. Amanda says, I know why. Yes, I'm so excited to see that plugin. Yeah, it's really dope. It's really, really cool. I just realized I never drew people, and now I'm tempting Taylor Swift for the art there. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, have fun with that. Have fun with Taylor Swift. I've never drawn Taylor Swift to the best of my knowledge. So we'll see how that goes. So what I'm going to do right now, because there's too many black lines, I'm just going to color one of them red, make it easier on myself. And then what I have to do now, I have to actually mask out the lines that we're not going to see. So literally everything. So I'm just going to select Javen's color layer right here, and I'm going to actually fill it like this. Bam. So now I took that selection and filled up everything that was Javen, and now he's behind. So that's really helpful. Dang, there's a tangent there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's actually, in that case, I'm gonna move Javen to the right just a little bit. Shouldn't change up things too much. So actually I have to get rid of that mask and do it again. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, I don't see any crazy tangents right now. All right, so now I can go back in and I can redraw some of those lines, because we need to see that fist here. But this we do not need to see, because this is his chest. You just gotta go in manually and take care of all this stuff. Okay, and then I gotta go in and gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this arm. Just need to figure out where everything is, and then I can erase later. Okay, so definitely this can all go. Everything that's on Javen's face, I don't need, because he's kind of getting from under his neck a little bit. This I don't need because his hand is covering it. And I don't need this part that was part of the cloth. So I can get rid of all this. And this here. Everything that's behind this hand I can get rid of. Okay. So that's looking good. And then I'm going to actually take back this here, because I said I'm going to just put Javen behind him. All right, so that's done. Now I just got to do a mask for Javen, and we're going to be all set. So let's get rid of some of this for the hair. Okay, it's part of this on the hoodie, so I basically got to be really careful here. Yeah, masks are your friend, guys. I didn't know how to use them for a long time. I didn't learn until like my second to last semester in grad school. No one ever taught me how to use these until I took a class, and I used them all the time. Because what I would used to do is, if I didn't need it, I would like duplicate the line, or I would delete it like straight up, and then I had to redraw it if I decided to need it later. And it just takes so much time and effort, energy, and it's just painful. So yeah. Crispy, did you ask Jordan if he likes plants? Arm tangent. Yes. Uh, all right. So let's see. We're close, guys. We're really close here. Now I just got to get rid of this leg. And if I decide I don't like how this turns out, I can always put it back. But let's see. Let's actually bring back this line. Sleeve here. And again, it might not work out. I might have to bring that leg in front. We're gonna see. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the line? Oh, well. Does that feel weird? What do you guys think? I actually don't know. Maybe I should have it in front. Here, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna create another copy of it, and I'm gonna have it be a second version, and we're gonna lay them side by side and determine who wins the battle royale. Oh, I forgot to erase that apparently. I'm sorry, I just blanked. Okay. All right, let's do this now. Let's get rid of, let's put these lines back first of all. All of them go back. All of them go back. And then we remove these. Okay, so let's get rid of my reference. I don't really need that right now. Okay, this is what we got. We got 1 and 2. I like 1 personally. I'm liking 1. I'm trying, so what I was doing, Ginger, so I see you asked the question. I'm trying to decide which I liked better, the leg behind the cloak or in front. And right now I think behind looks better. So I think I'm gonna go with that. So trial and error. I think if, wait, let's see. I think if maybe there was a little movement in the cloak to accommodate the shape of Javen's leg behind it, left. Yeah, I could put some movement there for sure, actually. Yeah, you know what, that's a good idea. I could have it behind and have the cloak kind of flow a little bit more. So I'll combine those two. So what I'll do now, let's delete that because I don't need it anymore. And then the seams line, disable that. And then I'm just gonna do something really simple. I'm gonna select this line and I'm just gonna warp it just a little bit to kind of match his body. I might have to do even more, but let's flip this. Trying to not mess up what I already drew. Admittedly, this is probably a lazy technique that I'm doing right now. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care at all. I make weird accents when I talk. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. I just do it. Oh, and as far as the names, no, you got the name right. It's fine. Spelling's different, but that's fine. What size canvas do you typically use? So I typically draw an 11 by 17 inches at 300 DPI. 300 DPI is standard for printing, and if I ever print this, then that will be super useful. So yeah, that's what I use. What the heck is this? I don't even know what this means. Oh, come on, Photoshop. No, Photoshop. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick moment to just do my thing. Where did the French come from? You know, I don't even know what accent that was. I just make funny voices sometimes to entertain myself purely because I'm just into stuff like that, I guess. Whoop, warp till I wouldn't have thought that I would have redrawn the lines. Such nifty tricks. Yeah, just gotta, you know, I mean, really, I could be, redrawing the lines, but just one, I think it would be annoying for me. Two, I imagine it'd be kind of boring for you guys to watch too. So yeah, so apparently they're loading up the liquify tool on me without my permission. That's why it was taking so long to load. So let's try this again. Okay. Come on. So one thing I do have to figure out is how these lines work again. Because I did this. Okay, let's draw these lines back. Some of them at least. All right, let's remove you from the equation. Oh wait, no, I guess we do need you. That's from Javen's color set. There we are. There we go. There we go. Lines are definitely the part that takes me the longest. They're great, but it definitely can become a lot sometimes. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. Why is it constantly thinking I want to liquefy this? Goodness gracious. Okay, let's put these lines here. Okay, now I just gotta clean up these lines again. This is part of the process, guys. You know, it's really annoying, but these are the things that you gotta do. These are the things that you gotta do if you want your artwork to look like you want it. One thing I could do also to help separate the characters out, I might go back in and do a thick outline around Javen so you can really see the separation of depth and space. Might not need it as much as I'm thinking right now because of the way I'm approaching this drawing, but we will see. We will see how it all goes. All right, let's fill him in here. And I think that just about does it. So let's color Asim's colors black so I can just get a full picture. Ah, I missed a spot. Missed a spot right here in the shoulder. Haha. All right, so that's this. I gotta cover this up. Get rid of this line here. There we go. All right. Cool. Yeah, we're just about ready. Just gotta clean up a couple of these things I realized I'm forgetting. Then clean up these lines here. Honestly, this is what takes me like 30% of my time. It's just checking stuff like this that I don't want to have to check. But I think that now I can call it done with the line work. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna merge these right now. No, actually, scratch that. I'm gonna copy this again and then I'm gonna merge, because you never know. You always want to save your steps when you can. Last thing I would want is to find another issue and then be like, oh shoot, I gotta do all this again. That would be fun. Okay, so let's merge these color layers here. And let's see if I can make sure all these lines are connected, because something is not filled in right. So actually what I could do, one way you can actually fix that, I just thought about it. Sometimes if you actually duplicate your line layer, you can create something that really works. You know, so compare this to this. It really helps separate lines. And you don't always have to have the opacity on 100. It could be at 10% if you want. But sometimes that'll help clean up any areas. So actually that did it. What I just did, duplicating the line, fixed what my issue was. So now I can go in and really add the color like that. So bam, all right, so now's the fun part. So you guys wanted color, you're gonna see color. Before I do that, I'm gonna read through these comments. Let's see what we got here. I know it's a mobile app, but do you think Procreate can be used for professional projects and commissions? Oh, definitely. You guys may know Nicholas Cole. He is a phenomenal artist. Let me actually pull up his work on the screen. Give me 1 second for you guys. He's a friend of mine, and he went to RISD. And he worked on a lot of really cool projects, especially in the last couple of years. He worked on the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and I think he worked on a Sonic the Hedgehog project. He did Crash Bandicoot, but he stopped using a Cintiq like 5 or 6 years ago. All this stuff is on his iPad. He even actually did a billboard for like a bus on his iPad, and he had to splice the image together, you know, because it was too big, you know, but I wonder if that image is on here. This is him. His image and his personality reflect each other. Like the way you think he is based on how he looks is exactly how he is. I'm just being honest with y'all. Okay, so this image was for a bus, and he did this in Procreate. I don't know how he spliced it up, but it's like, this is actually like 6 or 7 images put together or something. So yeah, super professional. And you could do a lot with Procreate, trust me. Why isn't standard DPI on Procreate 300? You can make it 300 DPI on Procreate. You just have to put it there. I mean, sometimes you don't actually want that DPI because it makes the files too big, or maybe you're just only going to have it on the computer screen. 300 DPI is the minimum for printing, if you want to print it ever. So, but otherwise you can get away with doing something else. Maybe I missed this. Is there a reason why the characters are colored in complements, warm and cool colors? Can you be more, you talking about my characters? Like my character lineup, just be more specific so I can answer. Let's see, because it would be easy, Amanda. That's funny. Amanda, that's why I had to create my own presets at 300 DPI. Oh, wow, I didn't know you did that. Jordan, is there a reason why you use a texture brush instead of an inking brush? Texture brushes, I just like texture brushes because they feel closer to pencil. And I honestly haven't found an inking brush that I really like just yet, to be honest. But I wouldn't mind finding a really solid inking brush, but it just needs to be the right one. Let's see, that's the one thing about Procreate. I wish it could handle more layers for larger print stuff. Yeah, that is the flaw for Procreate, unfortunately. I wish the same exact thing. But we don't live in that world, unfortunately. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys my trick for color. Let's see if I remember it properly. So I downloaded this plugin. It's like the multi-fill plugin. I bookmarked it. Matter of fact, wait, if I bookmarked it, can I share it, y'all? Yes, I can. Haha. So I'm gonna share it and I'm gonna put a link here. So you guys can go check it out. I got it for free. But what you do is you can go to, where is it? I think is it filter 3D? I only used it like one time, so forgive me. It's here. Let me do Pelt Made. If I can find it. Pelt Made. Okay. So okay, I remember now. So I have to go on my line layer. I'm duplicating it, by the way. I just duplicated the line layer. And then what you do, you go to Filter, Pelt Made, Multi-Fill. And when you hit multi-fill, it automatically, click OK. It should automatically fill in all the colors of your lines. Let's see, did it do it? Let me try it again. I don't think it did it properly. I think it maybe had something to do with this picture, random colors, tones. Let's try this. I found the image, click on it. Wait, what the heck? Okay, now I gotta read through the directions again. Hold on. It worked last time, I promise y'all. Let's see. Save the line art in a new layer. No anti-aliasing is there. Apply the multi-fill. That's exactly what I thought I did. Wait, save the line art, new layer, no anti-aliasing. Sorry, I probably look like such a noob doing this right now, but I genuinely am trying to figure this out. Oh my gosh, it's not doing it. That's really frustrating. I'm sorry, there was supposed to be a cool trick, but it doesn't want to do it. Okay, that wasn't it. Flatten Pro, I remember. Was not the free one. And there's something I'm not getting. Like, what am I doing wrong? Fix anti-aliasing. It said no anti-aliasing better, right? Let's just say 0. Random colors. Colors. Check the color, multi-fill colors. What in the world is this? This is not the plan, guys. The plan was to show you guys like something really dope. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Apparently I can't show y'all. It has stage fright. Yeah, it does have stage fright. Yes, when you were doing the life work, they were blue and yellow. I was referring to the colors blue and yellow when you were doing the line work. Oh, okay. No, there's no reason I picked those colors specifically. It's just they're light enough so I can see the line work itself. But they're also different enough where I can tell the separation of the characters. That's really all. You could choose whatever color you want, though. I think he had them differently colored, blue, yellow, red lines, so he could tell what line shapes belong to what character when he was deciding what to keep for overlapping spaces. Exactly, that's exactly it. It can't do it on command. Oh, that's a good one. For those of you who don't get it, that's a Spider-Verse reference. Oh my gosh, that was great. No, it's okay. We forgive you. I retract my vote for color, though. I'm with Team Shadow now. All right, let's do shadows. Maybe it'll cooperate later. So what I will do, typically, first I think about where the light is coming from, right? So usually you want to have light from above. So I could have light coming from up here, right? Or I could have it come from here. I could have it come from the side. You know, there's a lot of options. I think the let's see, what would be the best option? I'm thinking kind of coming from the front like this would be good, so it lights up their faces, you know? So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have the light come from this direction. So I'll create a new layer, and I like to pick like a kind of somewhat of a grayish purple. Purple is a perfect color for shadows, I think, because it has some warm and some cool. You know, the red's kind of on the warmer side, and then the blue is obviously the coolest color. Purple's right there in the middle. So I pick kind of a low saturation gray. If you decide you want to do it above the lines, then make sure your lines are multiply, and then lower the opacity. Or you can just do it below the lines, either way. But I think multiply is still the best method. And then because the light's from here, I'm just going to sort of imagine where the shadows are going to go. And right here, I'm not worrying about accuracy at all. This is just the messy layer, right? So this is all going to be in shadow because it's jacket flap right there. And again, I'm just thinking about where would the light hit, because I don't actually have, you know, people posing for me. I have to imagine what the light might do. And I don't want to have too many small shapes of this light or the shadow. You know, I want to have it in big block shapes so it's easier to read. That's really key. All right, so this arm probably be in shadow like this. I'm really irritated by that color thing though. Like, even if I wasn't streaming, I would want to make sure I figure that out. Okay, so this is probably gonna be behind them like this. That's all in shadow. That's all in shadow. And you could see Javen's, his hoodie actually glows. I'm not worrying about that right now because I'm gonna have my color layer on top of it, so it actually kind of make it kind of obsolete when I add it all together. So do all this, create a mess, right? Once I get to a place where I think it makes sense, I will actually clip this. So yeah, actually, yeah, your shadow, you're gonna want your shadow on the bottom layer. I forgot to recommend the clipping thing. So have your line on the top layer, lock that, or at least pixel lock it, and then your shadows beneath it. And then if you have a fill like this, then what you can do is you can just clip it right to that shape. And so now it doesn't go outside the lines. I don't have to worry about cleaning that up ever. So yeah, that's technology for you. Any thoughts on flipping your drawing horizontally while drawing? It always messes with my head. You know what? I think it's a good idea, actually. I didn't do it on this drawing, but I'm actually kind of scared to do it now. Let's see how many errors we can find. Because it is helpful to get like a different perspective on your drawing. But I'm a little nervous that it's going to be like, what? Oh, actually. Oh, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. Yeah, I'm not super excited about this sleeve, though. I think there's something about this right here that's actually still bothering me, but I can fix that later. I don't have to worry about that right this second. Not too shabby. One thing I did, oh shoot, I just realized I didn't put the design on his shirt though. Okay, let's fix that really quickly. Whoops, 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 whoops. It's only a small detail, so thankfully, actually, you know, let's just do both right now, really quick. So the lines go in between here. Okay. That's a little too thin. There we go. Let's pull that just a bit, get rid of that tangent. Bam. Okay, there we go. So that's safe. And then let me just fix this little sleeve here. I think it should really actually just go straight down. Now I think about it. Like not nearly as dramatic, and then just be like this. Yeah, that feels better already. That feels way better. Okay, so that didn't take long, thankfully. Doing that, dang, that shadow looks good already. Sweet, I'm glad you like it. All right, so now what I'm going to do, this is about where I want the shadows to be, right? So I'm going to do really quickly. I lost the shadow color, so I'm just going to get it back. And then this is the boring part. This is where you have to go in and clean up everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. So let's go in here and get a different brush, actually. And so this is a part where you really have to think about form. This is where all those anatomy studies that are super boring come into play, because now I have to picture what plane is where so that the lighting will make sense, right? Because it's really technically a flat drawing, you know. Just lots of line. I also like to use the lasso tool instead of just erasing it, because I find it faster to just select, and you get sharper lines that way when you're doing your shadow. They're not all just curved because you're using a soft round brush or a hard round brush. So I'm doing that. Like that is just way faster. And again, trying to think about big shapes. Major shapes is what I'm concerned about. And again, you always want to lock your line layer or your pixel, or at least either lock it or at least pixel lock it, because the last thing you want, trust me, is to start doing shadow or color and you find out you're on the wrong layer. You will hate your life if you do that. I promise you. No artist has ever done that and been like, you know, this turned out okay anyway. No, please trust me on that. Okay, so I actually don't think I'm gonna need that much. I might be doing a little shadow like this. Think about what's gonna be covered up. So since the light's coming from this direction, this might all be in shadow right here, actually. Except for this front flap here. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I want you to draw with it, Natives. Draw, Natives. All right. I could probably get away with doing this whole leg in shadow too. Okay, so let's color this all in like that. Yeah, we'll definitely be able to finish this, especially if that color tool actually works. I might have to go soon, getting pretty tired. No, you're not allowed to leave, Ginger Cell. You gotta stay right here. You gotta stay right here and watch me finish. No, it's all good. Understandable. Or again, ordinarily I would have started streaming an hour sooner, but I totally forgot I had a voice session for Art Rob, and I didn't realize it till after our live stream. And I looked at my calendar, which is literally right above my desk. And I write all this stuff down. I should have seen it. And I was just like, dang nabbit. But that won't happen again, because I'm starting to get committed to the schedule. It's become part of my weekly routine. And I think this is going to be the time I stream, Sundays at 6. And depending on how my life goes, I might start doing twice a week streams. My option was going to be Wednesday night for that. As well as Sunday night streams. So, you know, sometimes I know that you guys might want an extra stream for me or something like that. Sometimes I want to stream it another time. I just haven't like advertised it. I'm like, I can't do that because I won't get anyone on. So yeah, I got to figure that out. And obviously going to be working on more shadow boxer stuff most of those streams. Every once in a while, I might just be like, here's how to draw heads, or, you know, something simple like that. Yeah. Let's see. Got it. I'm trapped. Yes, you are. How did the voice session go? It went well. It went pretty well. And Amanda was on there, and we had a good talk. We talked about perfectionism. We talked about different people's projects and illustration and stuff. Cool stuff. Yeah, it's almost 11 here. I have to be up by 4:30. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Well, who am I talking? I do the same thing now. I've been actually building a habit where I get up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. A lot of it is because people keep bothering me in the middle of the day, and they keep bothering me for different work that they ask me to do or whatever. And sometimes I just need that time to myself. You know what I mean? But yeah, but for those of you guys who have to go, I won't hold it against you. There's nothing I can really do from where I'm at anyway. But I'm still gonna miss you. I'm still gonna miss you. Let's see. What is this? It's a blue line. Oh, it's the line. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, so I'm thinking this hand could probably be in shadow for the most part. We could probably have it like this and have that part of his arm be okay. All right. Actually, I think there'd be some shadow here. And basically what I'm doing when I'm shading is I want to make sure things don't look like this right here. Like you see that, how it just kind of has that circle shape? I want to get rid of that. I want all the shadows to be crisp, which is why, again, I recommend the lasso for this. Plus, with the lasso, you can always adjust, whereas erasing, it's kind of difficult to get that consistency. A little bit of shadow underneath that arm, tiny bit underneath the necklace here. All right, we're getting close, guys. We're getting real close. I would say this is like, with the shadow, it's probably about 60% done. And again, think about the simple planes as much as possible. That's something that I still kind of need to get the hang of every once in a while. But the simpler you think about it, the easier it'll be to see your image. Big, simple shapes. That's the key. And then obviously form, but we talked about that. Can I actually have all this in shadow? Actually, yeah, let's do that. I think that actually works. I have all this blocked off. Get that shoe over there. Okay, let's add a little bit under here because this is actually like a little strap belt thing. Can use it to indicate the form here. That's shadow. See that it's going in a certain direction. Another thing you can do if you're using the lasso, you can also use like the polygonal lasso tool, so you'll get perfectly straight lines. It's a little more limiting that way, but if you really want to get that straight angular feeling, then that would be a cool way to go. Maybe oh, you thought it was frozen. Maybe I was just really still. That is funny. Yeah, I have a focused face apparently. Okay. Yeah. That's looking pretty good to me. Let's add a little bit of shadow in the ear here. Get a tiny bit on his teeth, teethers. Gotta have shadow on the teethers. A little bit as we wrap around the collar here. And I think that would just about do it. All right, so let's save this. Resting focused face. That's awesome. Signing off. See you, Jordan. Well, thank you, Kathy, for jumping on. See you later. Have a good night. All right, so after I create my shadows, then what I'll do is I'll pixel lock that layer as well. And if I really want, I can always play with the color of it. If I want a green shadow, orange, whatever, I can just play with that. I can deepen the value of it. You know, there's a lot of things I can do. For now, I'm going to keep it simple and also finish up that. Okay, so now comes the time where I want to try this again. The coloring. Filter, peltman, multi-fill. Let me just look at this directions. Apply the multi-fill filter. Apply the flatten pro filter. Finish color. Oh, wait a second. I think I know what's going on. I think I get it now. I think this color has to be this color here, but for some reason it doesn't want to. Does it really not want me to pick? Are you kidding me? Okay, hold on. Let's figure out what the code number for this is. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna be lazy. I'm gonna color this white. I color it white, and then we're gonna do it like this. Select, no, filter, help made, multi-fill. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, now I'm just pissed. No, I really don't know what's going on. I'm just kind of shocked right now. Does anyone have any solution to this? I don't even know. I saw someone do it on a YouTube video. Maybe I can pull that up really quickly, actually. No, you know what? No, forget it. Forget it. I'll show you guys how I normally color. If I figure out this this tool at some point, then I'll change it up. But for now, it's going to take too long, and no one wants to watch me like figure all this out. So anyway. So I'll label the color, the shadow layer, shadow. Put the line layer up, and then what I'll do, I can either go on the same layer or on top of this layer, and I will literally just start color picking everything. And I can either do it this way. This is actually the long way to do it. The other way, you go on your line layer, and you select different sections like this. And you have to go in and really think about where the fingers are. Like right now I'm selecting his skin tone. So I'm just doing that. And they both have the same exact skin tone. So I can do this for both of them at the same time and just do it all in one pass. Okay. Create a new layer. Bam. It's colored that way. And then I have to go in occasionally and figure out where I missed the spot. So I'll do stuff like this. So now his face is good. He's good to go. every once in a while, this is the one thing about the texture brush that is actually annoying, is that it doesn't fill in everything exactly the way you want it. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh man, these lines got messed up. Uh-oh, I gotta fix that. Because I'm just anal about this sort of thing. Like, how did that even happen? Okay, that's fixed. Crisis averted. All right, so now that I got the hair, I'm sorry, the skin color, I can do something like the hair. I believe they both have the same color hair. One thing I gotta be careful of is making sure I pick the actual color, because I color this so that it's you see the shadow and like the local color. So I gotta make sure I pick the actual local color of everything. Then I go back on the line layer, select for the hair, go back, and just fill. And same thing here. I should have done this. I could have done their eyebrows too, actually. One thing about these boys, they got thick brows. I think it's because I have thick eyebrows. I gave them thick eyebrows. All right, now let's go here. Oh, that's not the color I wanted. I wanted this. Oh, it's just straight up lighter. You can't actually really tell. All right. Let's do this here. Also, one reason I actually advocate for doing this on a color other than white, like let's say if I pick a lime green or something, then I could tell exactly what has not been filled in. So there's little areas, like you see that in the hair, I'm gonna wanna make sure I fix that later on, especially with a texture brush. If I had a proper ink brush, then, you know, I wouldn't really have to worry about it so much. And then at the end of it all, when I, you know, I can merge all the colors into one layer if I wanted to, after I get it all together. But one thing I will show you, I actually showed it on another stream, but I'll show you guys how I get the glow to work. The magical glow that I think tends to be what draws people to these characters, I think, is the fact that I added that, which I'm very proud of. Okay, let's get Javen's shirt in here. And right now, I'm just betting on the local colors of everything. That's all I care about right now. Okay. Oh, I forgot the spot here. The one thing, again, you gotta be careful of is making sure that you have your line layer like properly locked, because I have to select the layer that is the lines, and the last thing you want is to fill in that space you don't want. So one thing I just realized, I didn't color in this area for Javen's neck. So let's fix that. And if it helps you take off the shadow layer while you're doing this, that's fine too. And again, you don't have to use this bright, vibrant green. It just helps me to be able to easily recognize whenever I've missed something. I actually think I should go on a mission to find a proper inking brush. If any of you have suggestions, I'm more than willing to listen. Let's see. The line work really does take the longest. I told you, that's exactly what it is. This is getting filled in so quickly. That's what I'm doing line work on an Elven Princess. Ooh, nice. I'm going to have to rewatch the stream afterwards and take notes on some of these shortcuts. I'm kind of a slow worker on Photoshop. No problem. I've been working in Photoshop for like 10 years. So like, a lot of this stuff is kind of old news to me in a way, but I understand that it's new for some of you guys. So yeah, please rewatch the stream and check out all the advice, because I have a lot of little things I've learned over the years that some of you guys might not know, and I think it might be helpful. All right, so let's work on Javen's pants. And again, this would be faster if I had gotten that plugin to work. So next stream, I'm going to prepare for that. I'm going to make sure I practice it and like memorize that step, because all the stuff I'm doing now would literally be done in a quarter of the time. Because what it does is it takes every individual line that's locked or that's closed, and it'll fill it in with a random color. And then I can go in and I can just be like plop, 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 plop. And it's just so nice. But again, it just didn't work today for some reason. So, you know, I just gotta live with it. Okay. But if you guys figure it out, I sent you all the link. If you guys figure it out, you know, tell me. I'll do it right now. Fredrin has some nice Clip Studio brushes. I can't speak for Photoshop brushes, but I would imagine they're good quality too. Clip Studio Pan has amazing inking brushes. I have Clip Studio. I just haven't taken the time to like really learn how to use it. And actually, I was so some of you guys may know I want to create a webcomic for this. Maybe like towards the end of next year, once I make sure my story is like really solid. And I was definitely thinking of using Clip Studio because of all of the benefits that come from that. You know, I know that's a super powerful tool. Although I'm not too happy about the new subscription model that they're starting up, but I actually bought it outright for that purpose. A while ago, I was like, just in case, I got the pro version with like all the cool stuff on it, because you just never know when these companies just want to take more of your money. You know, just gonna hijack you. They're just gonna hijack you for anything you got. So one thing about these characters, in order to get the glow to work properly, you have to have a lot of dark color surrounding them. And so some things are not as easy to see, unfortunately, but that's kind of the sacrifice you have to pay when it comes to this stuff, unfortunately. Okay, I just realized I don't have a reference for the mouth color, so I'm just gonna make that up as I go. Color in their eyes. Actually, wait, what am I doing this for? Hold on, let me pull up that extra window again. Work smarter, not harder, y'all. Yeah, there we go. Get that eye color just right. And truthfully, I'll probably show you the good enough version when this is all done. Like some of these lines won't properly be filled in. Like you'll see a little bit of green. That's just gonna take too long to do on a stream, especially because I want to show you guys something that's basically a finished product. But trust and believe, by the time I post this on my Instagram and stuff, it will be probably unnoticeable on Instagram realistically, but it will be done. All right, so let's, another thing I should probably have done, let's color this background up just a little bit of a gray. A professor recently showed me how to make our own inking brushes. Is really cool because the brush lets personality from any other inking brush. I don't like making my own brushes, but I do see the value in it for sure. A lot of people frustrated with the subscription move. Yeah, I can imagine. The subscription isn't bad. It's $4.50 for a single machine and $7 for two. I'd use it on my desktop and my iPad. You know, that's actually not a bad idea to get on my iPad, because I'm trying to go out and work in like cafes and stuff a little bit more. Because I don't like being just like glued to my desk because my Cintiq is here. So I think that might end up being the move. Okay, trying to get all these colors here. Some of the lines aren't even perfect still, but it's okay. I will live. I'll work it out. think that's everything. Okay. Don't forget I got that shadow layer too, so it's helping me to have it off right now because sometimes I color pick and I end up getting the wrong color by accident because it's like slightly affected by the shadow. Okay, actually I'm going to save that gray for another layer because there's a trick I'm going to show you guys. So I'm going to move to something else. You know, as I'm working on this, I'm realizing more and more that this brush that I used was good for sketching, fine, but it might not be good for inking for something that I'm going to work with in color. So that's actually a good lesson for me, that I have to find an alternative. Whoa, what happened there? Let's try that again. Let's see. I'm out for tonight, Jordan. It was a fun stream, but I need sleep. It's all good. Have a good night, Ginger Cell. See you later. Most people are upset because they tout themselves as a single purchase model when Photoshop was like, subscribe. I get it, but I don't want to be subscriptioned to death. Yeah, everything. So the thing about subscription models, it was supposed to be an alternative to, like, especially when it comes to cable and stuff, like you were supposed to have an option to kind of watch what you want when you want. But now we have all these like streaming services, for example, and now the bills are like basically the same. If you want to have Hulu and Disney Plus and Netflix and, you know, all this other stuff, it's basically the same price as cable. So you're still spending the same money. And, you know, if you really want to watch a show, then you're just kind of stuck at the mercy of whatever, you know, they require. And I think that's really kind of frustrating. And I think it goes for obviously things like Photoshop too, because they did kind of, you know, mention themselves as like the top tier guys. But yeah, let's see something. Okay, so one thing I just realized, I thought something I just realized I could do. This light green, like I said, was meant to be able to help me to see what things I didn't fill in. But at the end, I just totally forgot I did this. I actually will either desaturate or just make it black or something, and those lines will just disappear. So I don't have those concerns. Just checking in to say what's up, dope piece. Hey, Naeem, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Yo, everyone should follow Naeem. Dude, put your Instagram in the chat. Let's get people following you. Dope artist. We met at an Avatar The Last Airbender book signing like 10 years ago. Only that one time in person, but we've kept in touch ever since. So yeah, man, thanks for your support. Appreciate you. All right, so let's keep these. Now, one thing that I think is also important when it comes to character design is making sure when it comes to color that you're not doing too much. A lot of people want colorful characters, or characters who are known for how bright they are. The secret is actually having fewer colors and having one or two things like really stand out. That's what will make your character seem more vibrant. It's not that you need to have the whole rainbow represented on your character. It just ends up looking like whatever the equivalent of word vomit is for art. So yes, that multi-fill thing would really come in handy for stuff like this. All right. He just put in inkpen_TV. All you guys check him out. Please and thank you. And then if you comment on a post of his or something, say Joe McFo sent you. Okay. Get the pants here. We're actually really close. We only got like 4 colors left, believe it or not. Like I said, this was a tedious process. The line work takes the longest, but then shadow and colors are the most tedious. Because it's really just a matter of just filling stuff in that I've already picked. Like, this is honestly something I would probably hire someone to do for me. So that my time can be spent elsewhere if I were to, have this as a production. Okay, make sure I save. Okay. Okay, I gotta go in manually and do some of this. Amanda says, what are you thinking about for next week? That's a good question. I have a list of other character things I want to do. So one of the criticisms I got was I need to have my characters interacting more, and I agreed with them. So what I want to try and do is I want to have different pages of my characters just hanging out, whether they're just like, sitting at a park or eating food or, whatever, just them kind of spending time together. Because I have my turnarounds, I even have some poses for these characters, that I think are pretty cool. But as a whole, they're hardly ever like doing something with each other, and I don't think you're able to tell what their personalities are like, which is something that I've been, really trying to work hard on in the writing aspect. And so I'll probably look at my list and work on one of those. And I'll probably start a little bit before the stream naturally, so I'm not starting from ground zero. But if you guys actually want to see that, though, then that can be arranged. You just have to tell me. Now, one thing I want you all to recognize when I'm coloring Javen is I'm not doing any of the glowy effect on him right now. That's something I'm leaving for later because there's a very specific process that I do for it. So I'm going to ignore all of the stuff that glows for now. You got a super moody character. Ishnu is super moody. He is, hold on, where's my window? Oh, here it is. Ishnu is this guy right here in the green with the big afro. He's just a grumpy guy. He's a grumpy old guy. But yeah, he's pretty moody. He's basically like ready to retire, but he's stuck watching these kids. So yeah. All right. So now, all right, all I have to do is Javen's smile. So let's take care of the smile real quick. And then I should probably also do this. Javen needs white teeth. Javen goes to the dentist. He's got some nice pearly whites. Okay, so I picked the same purple that's on his costume. That kind of works. Let's do a slightly different color for his tongue. Yeah, that works well enough. Yeah. Then just gotta get his shoes, which are pretty much just like two colors here. Almost there, guys, almost there. The monotony will soon end. And then this here. I could have just selected all these, but I actually thought it would be faster if I did it like this. Okay, nice saturated blue right here. I actually want Javen's shoes really badly, and I designed them. All right, so I think we're almost in the clear. Okay, we are good to go. All right, so I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna merge this color layer. I'm gonna do two more layers. One for Asim and one for Javen. So let's start with Asim. Save the best for last. So one thing, oh snap, dude, you were just in my mind. I see you streaming. Yo, Jared, that's my boy. Oh my gosh, Jared has been with this project since I first thought about it, like when I was 14. It's a very different direction than he remembers, but good friend of mine. Thank you for supporting, dude. I appreciate you so much for coming on. And we gotta hang out soon. That's my bad. We gotta hang out. Got lots of updates for you. Okay, so if you look real close at this right here, this metal, you can tell it has a bit of a shine on it. What am I doing? Right here. Oh, wrong. That's not the right color. All this, there's a little bit of a shine here and here and here. So what I like to do in those moments, once I get all the fill-in areas that I want, just like this, select all that. And then I will fill in like this. I guess that was the color I chose, right? Make sure I got everything. I did not. So let's go up here, grab some of that. Apparently I didn't color his skin properly either. So let's get this area. Amanda says the dog is being quiet tonight. I know, right? That's actually very much appreciated. Maybe he cares about this stream or something. I don't know. Or maybe he's napping. It is getting late here. It's 9:15. But I'm almost done, y'all. I'm almost done. Probably another 15, 20 minutes or so on this. All right, so I filled in that whole space, right? Just make sure. There. So what I'll do here is I will do a pixel lock and I'll gray it out to match the color. And then what I'll do, I'll get a soft round brush and I'll go in and slightly change the color. And I can make some areas brighter and some slightly darker, depending on the light scenario. So the light is coming from the bottom, so I'll have the shadow be mostly up here. If it's too dark, I can always go over it again. But then I want to have those areas that are closer to the light particularly shine. I'm gonna do the same thing down here. Sometimes you just need a quick swipe, and other times you just got to play with it a little bit more. But the goal is to get it to look kind of like metal a little bit. All right, so he's basically done. Now for the final touch, I'm going to do a glow on Javen. Now there's two ways to do it. I could fill in the color and then do a Gaussian blur and spread it out. But a way that I think might even be better is to do a fill like this. So let's first capture all the areas we want. It's a glow. Get rid of this space here. So I don't actually want that. And then I need these. All right, I believe I selected everything. All right, so let's fill that with this cyan blue right here. And then what you can do, after I change the opacity of that, because we don't need that, I can create a layer style. Whoa. I can do outer glow down here at the bottom, and I can slowly increase the power, the intensity, and the spread of this glow. Now, sometimes it works better than others. You know, it's gotta be like, you gotta be really crisp when you do stuff like that. Let me see. Is the glow effect going to affect the clothes on the dad? Yes, I'll have to do that as well. I have to like do a little bit of lighting on him to make it work. But for now, this is actually pretty close. So it's very different than how I did it here. The other way I did it here, I can actually experiment with both. So let's see. So the other thing I can do is I can copy this layer. This is going to have to go above the clipping mask layers. And then I would have to just do filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and basically the same thing, just push out the radius little by little, depending on how much that I want. And what's good about this, if you have it filled beneath like this, then it won't spread out and you won't lose the vibrancy of it. So sometimes you could just copy this like 2 or 3 times if you want, merge it. You know, you could really determine how big you want the glow to be. And I'll just label that glow. So I'll do that. And then the shadows, I got to make sure the shadows are underneath everything. So we have the glow, we have the shadows. So the shadows I have to put underneath the blue, because otherwise, you know, where there's a light source, it won't have shadow, right? So just got to make sure I remember that. So I think that's looking good. I can always have a little bit of rim light or something. But now the next step is to just go on top and get a soft brush, make it kind of small. And I could add just little bits of color here and there if I want. I'm gonna keep it real soft. I don't really need to do anything crazy. Make sure my eraser is just as soft. The glow is not meant to be like super overpowering or anything like that, so you won't see it like reflected all over the place. But you'll definitely see it in some areas, like down here, because actually the bottom of his feet are glowing. So you'll see that here. I think I'm going to change the color of this on the necklace, just to be a little darker. I can't really tell the difference in color there. So just change hue a little bit. There we go. And I think that just about does it, guys. So yeah. Oh, one last thing actually, before I forget. I forgot this in my character design sheets for some reason. They're going to need some highlights in the eyes. I think for Javen, I'll give him blue because of the glow on him. Let's see. I'll lower the intensity of that just a bit. And maybe even slowly do that. So, yeah. And, oh, almost forgot. I gotta do the speech bubble. Last thing is the speech bubble. And my final checkup. So, like 2 things I wanted to fix up really quickly. Because this drawing is basically done now. One thing I just realized I didn't get that sleeve. So we're just gonna color that in real quick. All right. And what was the other thing? Oh, yes, the quote, the dialogue line. I'm just going to have him saying, "Who's the old man now, huh?" This is actually something my dad used to say to me. My dad passed away a couple of years ago, but one of the things that he would always do was call me old man ever since I turned 18. And so this is in a little bit of a way, it's like a little tribute, you know, nothing over the top, but you know, kind of I think it's one of those kind of sentimental pieces at the end of the day. And I'm glad this is like one of the first drawings where I have them like together, and it's a fun, playful thing. Is there a reason the glow isn't directly on the pupils? Directly on the pupils? Well, hold on, this thing is still loading. Because it's, you know, it's simple, it's cell shade, I really don't want to like overpower it. Because realistically, like there will be way more going on here. But because it's, you know, a certain style, if you have it too busy, then it ends up not like communicating the image so strongly. So that's really it. I just have it as a simple highlight. Oh my gosh. This thing just doesn't want to work right now. I always have tech issues when I stream. Right when we're about to be done, too. Shame, shame, shame. Man says, "I'm sorry about your dad. Good tribute." Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see. All right, so let's get it proper anime text or comic text, whatever it's called. Or font is what I meant to say. Font. Yeah, here we go. Anime Ace. This will do. Make that a little smaller. Yeah, 2 lines ought to be good. And then now I just need a speech bubble. So what I'll do, I'm going to create a white bubble with a very small black stroke on top of it. Like 2 or 3 pixels. So it just automatically creates the outline. Let's get a better brush for this. Expand that a little bit. Then, bam. And that is it. Bam. What you guys think? Man, this one took a while. This one took a couple days to work out. But I'm glad I did. Is it a perfect image? Nah, there's lots of things I could probably fix about it and, you know, painstakingly work on for it. But ultimately, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I think it's a fun image. You know, I think it gets the relationship across pretty well. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Although I'm really gonna be nitpicky. I could address these highlights a little bit better. Myself a hard round brush instead of a soft. Whoa, that's not the right thing. Hold on, let's just do this. Why is it not? Oh, that's why. The opacity was down low. Silly me. Just redoing this. And I can always shift the color a little bit towards blue. Anything else that I miss? So I basically think I'm done, but I'm just double checking. Oh, I guess I could put shadow for their upper lip, maybe. I don't know how well it's going to come out. Multiply 57, just got to memorize that. Okay. Let's get a little bit of a shadow. Because they both have pretty full lips. Yeah, there we are. That feels a little bit better. Yeah. All right. Now I'm calling it. I think we're good. Amanda says, looks fantastic. Thank you so much, Jared. Looks great. I'll see you soon. Yes, I will, man. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Matter of fact, I'll text you after the stream tonight, and we'll figure out something for next week or something, or whenever you're free. But anyway, guys, that does it for this live stream. We've gone for 2.5 hours. Thank you all for sticking with me. I appreciate your continued love and support for the Joe McFo Show. Share with your friends, your family, all that stuff. And I will see you all next Sunday. So, all right, guys, peace.